Right now, you think you are seeing this room. You are not. What you are seeing is a guess, a prediction, built in the dark, stitched together so fast and so smoothly that you never notice the seams. But the real answer is far stranger than a simple photograph forming in your head. Your eyes are not cameras, your brain is not a screen, and the world you trust completely, the one you would swear on, is something your mind is quietly inventing, moment by moment, just for you. Start with the light hitting your eye. It passes through the cornea bends, through the lens, upside down on the retina at the back of your eye. Your entire visual world begins as an inverted image flickering across a thin sheet of cells no thicker than a few strands of hair. Somehow, none of that upside-down chaos ever reaches your conscious mind. Your brain flips it, corrects it, cleans it up before you even know there was ever a problem to solve. Inside that thin sheet of cells are two kinds of photoreceptors: rods and cones. Rods for dim light, black and white, built for shadows and midnight movement. Cones for color, but only in bright conditions, clustered densely in one small area called the fovea. Here is the strange part: outside that tiny central patch, your retina is almost blind to color and painfully low in detail. Hold your arm out. Look at your thumbnail. That sharp, colorful, detailed view. That is the only part of your vision that is actually sharp. Everything else, the entire rest of your visual field, is blurry, dim, and colorless. Your brain hides this from you entirely. It hides something even stranger: where the optic nerve exits your eye to send signals to your brain, there are no photoreceptors at all. A hole. A blind spot sitting right in the middle of your vision every single day for your entire life. You have never seen it. Not once. Your brain fills the gap using the pattern around it, painting in a seamless patch of nothing, so convincingly that most people go their whole lives unaware a hole exists in their sight. So if your retina only captures a blurry, partial, upside-down, gap-filled mess, then what are you actually experiencing when you look around a room and feel like you see everything clearly all at once? The answer is prediction. Your brain is not reconstructing the world from your eyes. It is predicting the world, then using your eyes only to check if the prediction was wrong. Neuroscientist Anil Seth calls this a controlled hallucination. Your conscious experience of seeing is your brain's best guess about what is out there, corrected in real time by small streams of sensory data. When the guess matches the data closely enough, you experience it as seeing. When it does not, your brain quietly updates the model and you never notice the switch. This is why optical illusions work at all. A famous demonstration from psychologist Richard Gregory showed how easily the brain's assumptions override raw sensory input. Two identical gray squares placed on different colored backgrounds are perceived as completely different shades because your visual system is not measuring light values. It is inferring surface properties based on context, shadow, and prior experience. You are not seeing the squares as they are. You are seeing your brain's theory of the squares. Your eyes move constantly too, in tiny, rapid jumps called saccades, several times, every second, all day, every day. During each jump, your vision briefly goes dark. The world should flicker constantly, a strobing blur of motion and blackout dozens of times a minute. It never does. Your brain erases the gaps, smoothing the jumps into a continuous, stable stream that feels effortless. Go back further, and the reason for all of this deception becomes obvious. Vision was never built for accuracy, it was built for survival. For hundreds of millions of years, the earliest eyes were nothing more than clusters of light, sensitive cells on simple organisms detecting shadow and movement, enough to sense a predator's approach or the direction of sunlight. Speed mattered more than precision. An organism that predicted danger a fraction of a second faster survived. One that waited for a perfectly accurate picture did not. That ancient pressure never left you. Your brain still prioritizes fast, useful guesses over slow, complete truth because for most of evolutionary history, hesitation was fatal. This is also why your peripheral vision is so poor at detail but so extraordinary at detecting motion. A shape moving in the corner of your eye grabs your attention almost instantly, long before you consciously register what it is. That reflex is ancient, older than language, older than tools, wired into the same visual pathways your distant ancestors used to notice a shifting shadow in tall grass. You are still running that same alarm system today, just aimed at headlights and falling objects instead of predators. Color itself is another layer of invention. Wavelengths of light carry no color at all. Light is simply electromagnetic radiation of different frequencies. Color exists only in your mind, generated when your cone cells respond respond to those frequencies, and your brain assigns them a category. Different species see entirely different color worlds from the exact same physical light. Some animals perceive ultraviolet patterns invisible to you. You are not missing information because your eyes are broken. You are missing it because your brain only builds the categories useful to a human, moving through a human environment, solving human survival problems. Depth works the same way. Your eyes only capture flat two-dimensional images on the retina. There is no built-in third dimension in the raw data. Your brain manufactures depth using tricks comparing the slightly different images from each eye, tracking how objects shift as you move your head using shadows and relative size as cues for distance. Remove those cues, and depth perception falls apart instantly, which is exactly why a photograph of a straight road can trick your brain into misjudging distance, or why certain rooms built with false perspective can make a person appear to shrink or grow as they walk across it. Even memory folds into what you think you are seeing right now. Your brain constantly draws on prior experience to fill in expected details before your eyes even finish scanning a scene. Walk into a familiar kitchen, and your brain has already predicted where the counter is, where the light switch is, what the room generally looks like, often before your eyes have consciously processed all of it. This is efficient. It also means that what you experience as seeing is always a blend of live sensory input and old expectation layered together so completely that you cannot separate the two from the inside. Here is the twist that changes everything. If vision is prediction, then two people can look at the exact same scene and genuinely see something different. Not because their eyes are different, but because their brains have built different prior expectations. Context, memory culture, even mood can shift what gets predicted and filled in. The world does not enter your head. Your head builds a version of the world tuned by your history and hands you the result as if it were simple, direct, unquestionable fact. So when you look around the room you are in right now, understand what is actually happening. Light is landing upside down on a thin gap-filled sheet of cells at the back of your eye. Only a tiny fraction of what you think you see clearly is actually sharp. Your brain is erasing blackouts, filling a hole in your vision, correcting for color, inventing depth from flat images, and predicting most of the scene before the raw data even finishes arriving. None of this is a flaw. It is hundreds of millions of years of evolutionary engineering built for speed and survival, not photographic accuracy. You were never seeing this room. You were only ever seeing your brain's best guess about it, and it has been that way every second of your entire life.